Welcome to the Unknown Chronicles, where a city may sleep, but something in the shadows surely doesn't. Out here, the skylines crack like a broken promise, and the streets remember every scream that never made it home. We walk past ghosts every day, flickering behind rusted fire escapes, bleeding out beneath the buzz of dying neon. You think you're in the dark? You're not. The city watches, and sometimes it whispers back. Tonight, we follow a voice lost in the noise, buried beneath concrete and cold breath. This story comes from Oliver, somewhere in the ruins of Los Angeles, a man with nothing left except the eyes he can't stop feeling. I'm your host, Thorn Blood Rose, and this is Faceless in the Dark. Let's step into the darkness. I don't know when I first started seeing them. Maybe they were always there, watching from the edges of my vision, just waiting for me to notice. I lived on the streets, and when you've got nothing, you learn to sleep light and trust no one. This was different. This wasn't the paranoia that comes from knowing someone might slit your throat for a blanket. This was worse. It started 2 weeks ago. I woke up in an alley behind an old diner, stomach empty, my head pounding from the cold, and I felt it. Someone watching me. It was that deep, instinctual feeling, like the kind you get when a cop is eyeing you before deciding whether to hustle you. I turned my head, slow, expecting to see some junkie looking to roll me, but the alley was empty. Just a flickering streetlight, the damp stink of garbage in the air. And then I saw him. At the mouth of the alley, just barely out of the reach of the buzzing streetlight, stood a man, or at least something shaped like a man. It was tall, dressed in an old suit like it had just stepped out of a funeral. Its face was smooth and pale, like clay before a sculptor gave its features. No eyes, no mouth, nothing. Just skin stretched tight where its face should be. It didn't move. It didn't breathe. It just stood there, head tilted slightly as if it were listening. A sick feeling crawled through my gut, and before I knew it, I was on my feet, bolting down the alley. I ran until my lungs burned, until my knees almost gave out beneath me. When I finally stopped, my head pounded against my ribs. I was in another part of the city. I told myself I imagined it. Maybe it was my hunger messing with my brain, or exhaustion making shadows into monsters. But then I saw another, and another. Then more appeared 2 nights later. I had just settled in behind an old bus station, curled up beneath a stolen coat, when I felt it again. A watching feeling. I turned my head. There, across the street, standing at the doorway of the boarded-up liquor store, was another one. This one was shorter, dressed in a ragged coat. Its hands hung limply at its sides, fingers slightly curled, motionless. The streetlight flickered. For a fraction of a second, I thought I saw its head twitch. I stopped sleeping after that. I tried to tell somebody, a guy I knew from the shelter, Travis, a wiry old man who sees ghosts in the steam rising from sewer grates. If anyone would believe me, it'll be him. But when I described them, he just went quiet. His usual manic energy drained away, his fingers tightening around a frayed blanket draped over his shoulders. Then he looked at me, his eyes darting side to side like he was making sure we were alone. "You're not supposed to notice them," he whispered. I tried to ask what the hell he meant, but he just shook his head, muttering under his breath. He wouldn't say anything else. After that, they started appearing more often. Everywhere I went, there they were, standing at the corner of the street, lurking behind dumpsters, reflected in dirty puddles, their faceless head turned towards me. They never moved, not when I was watching, but I swear to God, every time I looked away, even for a second, they got closer. A few nights ago, I tried to lose them. Off the train going out of the city, rode it until it stopped in some dead town with nothing but gas stations and empty storefronts. I figured if they were some kind of sick hallucination, they wouldn't follow me. But when I stepped off the train, there they were, 4 of them, standing at different spots on the platform, motionless and waiting. I ran. I don't remember how long I ran, but I didn't stop until my body forced me to. I collapsed under an old bridge, gasping for air, my back pressed against the concrete. My hands were shaking. The streetlight above me buzzed, then flickered. And then, there they were, 5 of them this time, lined up along the opposite sidewalk, just standing there. The nearest one was maybe 10 feet away. Too close. Way too close. I screamed at them, told them to leave me the hell alone. I picked up a chunk of concrete and hurled it as hard as I could at the closest one. It should have struck it square in the chest. But the moment the rock made contact, it was just gone. The rock clattered on the ground behind where it had been standing. I froze. My breath hitched. And then slowly, so slowly, their heads tilted. I could hear something now. A sound so faint it was almost beneath hearing. A whispering like fabric brushing against itself. Like something shifting, adjusting. I ran again. That was last night. Now I'm back in the city, hiding beneath another bridge. My back is against the cold concrete. My knees pulled up to my chest. The streetlight above is the only source of light. It's glowing, casting long shadows. The bulb is flickering, and every time it does, they get closer. I can't keep running. I understand now. They weren't following me. They were waiting for me to see them. Now that I have, they won't stop. The lights just went out. I can hear them moving. A chilling confession from a man who no longer runs because there's nowhere left to go. Okay, wherever you are, if you're still out there, we hope you're not alone. Or perhaps we hope that you are. Maybe you, my dear listeners, believe this is just a story. A work of fiction meant to send a chill down your spine. But tell me, have you ever walked home alone at night and felt something just beyond the edge of your vision? A shadow that wasn't there when you turned to look? Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, convinced, just for a second, that someone was standing in the corner of your room, watching, waiting? If so, I have some advice. Do not acknowledge them. Do not stare for too long. And whatever you do, do not let the lights go out. You've been listening to the Unknown Chronicles. Every story is a descent into the shadows, and not everyone makes it back. If the darkness calls to you, if the whispers grow louder when you close your eyes, you know where to find us. Until next time, remember, sometimes the scariest things isn't what's in the dark. It's what's watching from just beyond it. Good nightmares, and sleep tight, if you can.